Hi everyone, Mr.T back again here with beautiful Sosua beach in the background. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so because there'll be more cool videos coming out in the future. Now in this video we're going to look into how foreigners fund their lifestyle when they come down here, how they afford to live here, because that can be as varied as you can imagine. So let's rip into it and speak to the first video guest. Here we go. I'm with Alan, who you've probably seen in previous documentaries. Thanks again for being on video.
My pleasure, Mr. T. How are you?
Excellent, thanks. Alan, how do you fund your lifestyle down here, and what advice would you give to others in terms of what they need or don't need when they come down here in terms of money?
Well, for me, when I wanted to have enough to live a decent lifestyle with dignity, I wanted to retire with dignity. And so I did. I worked a career my whole life with UPS, and I was a part of the Teamsters Union for a long time, so I got a nice pension from UPS and the Teamsters, and I am very grateful for it. But a lot of people here are living on just their basic government pension. In the States we call it the Social Security. Other countries have similar things, but if you're going to live here, you need $2,000 to $3,000 minimum a month to live a decent lifestyle. Now, there's people here living on $1,000 a month. They're living on basically just their government pension, their Social Security. That's what they have. I think that those people, though, their lifestyle, they're existing on $1,000 a month. $2,000 to $3,000 a month, you can live with dignity, and you can rent a nice apartment here in the El Batea area or Sosua, Puerto Plata area. I rent at 18,000 pesos a month, which is around $350, $360 a month. That includes my electricity, my cable, my internet, the gas from my cook stove, and all I have to do is basically clothe myself and feed myself, and then you have to decide what do you want for transportation. That's an expense. If you want a really nice SUV or a nice car, you're going to put that in your budget. If you want to drive a moto, you put that in your budget. If you want to walk wherever you go, which is really possible here, it's possible. My lifestyle here is so much better than what it would be in the States. I have beautiful beaches and I have incredible weather 12 months of the year, and it's rarely ever bad weather here. And where I come from, there's a common phrase, it's a nice day, because it's rarely a nice day, it's so cold. But here, every day you get up and it's just beyond amazing, the weather. The beaches, the weather, the people, the security. You don't have to look over your shoulder every day. I have zero problems here with police or people. It's just not a problem here if you live a decent lifestyle and stay away from the things you have to stay away from anywhere else you live in the world. And so that's what I do, and it works for me, and it'll work for you if you can stay inside your budget. But whatever you have, you got to live with it. And if you have $1,000 a month, that's what you got to live on. So I decided I was just going to live on what I had, and I have. And I've stayed inside my budget and have lived a nice lifestyle. And next year, hopefully, I'll get my Social Security. It'll be there for me, and I'll have a better lifestyle next year.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan, for those wise words, and all the best with your new lifestyle.
Thank you.
Take care. I'm with Niko, who's originally from Serbia. Thanks for being on camera.
Hello.
And I love your Caribbean uniform.
Yeah,
but it goes well with what you're doing here. Yeah.
I ran the crystal kayak. This is my first job in Dominicana. But
and
I like this.
Before you came over here, did you make any plans as to how you were going to afford living down here, or you just booked the ticket and flew down here?
I just booked the ticket and come to 2 weeks, and after that I make the plan to stay, to try to live and work on Dominicana and have a good time, yeah.
Was that the original plan, just to come down, test it and maybe stay, or you only just planned to have the 2 weeks and then go back?
Original plan would be 2 weeks to be there and go back, but when I come I like it. This is a beautiful country, and I want to try to stay, to live in Dominicana, but we will see what happens.
So for everybody else out there who may be contemplating coming down here, what would you recommend to them? To do the same you did, just come down and try to find work or start a business, or would you plan it more carefully?
I don't know. they must come and see what happening on an island and make some plan for business, for jobs, for traveling. I don't know.
But you're a single guy, free spirit, so it's not, you don't have a whole family you had to take into consideration as well.
Now I'm solo, but I have a plan to my girlfriend come to live with me. But for start, I must to try to find a job, to work something and prepare everything for my girlfriend.
Okay, was it easy to find a job down here?
I think for me not, but I heard some story. I don't know. I have motivation, enthusiasm, and I find that my job.
Excellent.
Very fast.
And are you lining something up for your girlfriend?
No, no.
Or she'll be looking for work as well? Or?
Yeah, I looking for job for she, and I thinking I find something in the next few months. As plan is she will come in October.
Okay. Thank you very much, Niko.
Bye, bye, bye.
And what advice would you give to anybody who's thinking of coming down here to live in terms of how to afford funding their lifestyle here?
If they want coming here to do business, to do big money, no way.
No way.
No way. So if the people coming here, it's just for fun, to spend the life with quite sunny.
And the reason you say no way, why is that?
No, because in this country to do big business it's only with government or something like that. But private business, it's not money
circulating.
It's not money for speaking about, because for example bar business here in small town like Sosua, we have more than 100 bars. So with this
so it's like 100 pigeons fighting over a few slices of bread.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy. It's not big money. You must be ready that it's not big money.
Thanks for your comments and all the very best down here.
You have to have a game plan. The game plan is primarily relaxation and rejuvenation for me.
So anybody who wants to come down here to stay for a longer period of time, settle in either with a condo, villa or whatever, would you suggest they need a lot of money behind them to do that? Or?
Well, it's a lifestyle. It depends on, this is a third world country, Dominican Republic. Right now, you're probably going to get more bangs for the bucks if you come down, stay a couple of months, sort of see what the demographics is all about. Once you've acquired a certain feel for the community, the people themselves, then the decision is primarily up to the individual himself. For me, coming from America, from the deep south, or what we call the dirty, this is a no-brainer. This is survival 101 for myself. So if you're coming down and you're interested in, as we say back on the other end, balling, Sosua is a place. There are other places, Santiago, Santo Domingo, that you can ball out and really enjoy yourself. But primarily for tranquility, peace of mind, we're down in a third world country, and everything here is kind of like, self-explanatory. So I would suggest if anyone's coming down, have a game plan, and once you're here, follow your game plan to the T. If you're only living off $1,000, and that's only $1,000, the only bang you're going to get is $1,000. If you're coming down with tens of thousands of dollars, then hey, anywhere you go, you're going to be accepted. So my advice to you is follow your game plan.
Thank you very much, Israel. Good words of advice.
Thank you.
Take care.
Enjoy yourself up there, but the picture here is olive.
Thanks. here with Christian, an Austrian entrepreneur here in Dominican Republic. Thanks for being on video.
Well, you're welcome, Mr.T. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And you run this great business now, Profereca Home and Garden, and lots of different products for constructions and homes.
Yes.
Let's just go back to where you started. You were sitting in Austria and you just got an idea, let's move to Dominican Republic, and how did you calculate that you could afford living down here in the future, and how did that unfold?
It came together actually by more or less by accident. I used to work for over 20 years on a cruise ship, and one day we stopped here in the Dominican Republic, and I fell in love with the place. I kept coming back, and finally I decided to move here. And in the first couple of years I kept doing what I did all the time. I worked on a cruise ship, and one day I said, let's settle down for real. I opened a business with now my ex-wife, and we have one shop in Santiago, we have one shop here, and I did not do a lot of planning because on the beginning, later on we came across the opportunity to import things from China and from other places.
Your challenge with income, you had savings and you just thought, well, if it doesn't work out, I can always fly out again. Was that it?
Yes, I had some savings, obviously. I was buying my home. I built the other house, so I'm renting out apartments and studios as well, besides having the shop here and in Santiago. So there is an income, and like you said, I have the chance to go back and start again on what I did before.
Wouldn't the dollar go much further down here than coming down here to chase pesos?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you have the opportunity to make a business online, I know many people who make their money by teaching English online. You have to adjust yourself to certain, how should I say,
cultural differences.
Cultural differences. But one of the biggest one is time. So 3 o'clock where I'm coming from means 5 to 3 o'clock and you're on time. 3 o'clock here means maybe tomorrow morning at 8, and still nobody would think there's something wrong with it.
Christian, thank you very much. We'll interview a few more people, but all the very best with your business. Okay guys, you've heard a few video guests explain how they go about affording to live down here and running businesses, etc. And we're going to listen to a few more. But I just wanted to quickly throw something in the pot about the dreamers down here. We get two types of dreamers coming down here: the dreamers who make it and the dreamers who don't. And I'm talking about business here. And unfortunately the scale is heavily lent towards the dreamers who don't make it, which is about 95-97% of the people who attempt to kick some business off here are out of business within literally months. Now why is that? Well, there's a few things that they don't think through properly before they take that risk. One is, what are you good at? If you're good at plumbing, don't think it's such a smart idea to set up a pizza shop. Or if you're good at baking, well, that doesn't necessarily mean you know how to run an entire restaurant. So think through carefully. The best direction to ride a horse is the direction it's already riding. Since it's a new country, maybe just start doing what you're good at if you are going to go into business down here. And then later on, as you learn about the marketplace and opportunities, you can start changing the direction you want to go in for something more exciting maybe. The second thing is, do you open a business or do you work from home? I could highly recommend working from home if you are going to work down here, because when you open a business, you are in the nation of hustlers, especially the North Coast. They are very good at hustling, and that means people from authorities, people who pretend to be from authorities. That means general beggars, people coming off the street. All kinds of people come in and want your money. So that can rob your time and rob the money that you have saved to get your business cranking. Secondly, staff. This is one of the most dangerous ones where I've seen people end up in court being sued for unrightful dismissal. The Dominican workers are very, very in tune with their labor laws. They know that after the 90th day that you've got them employed, they have the right to get quite a handsome settlement if you try to get rid of them. And people will sometimes be very motivated and seem like good workers for those 90 days, and literally on the 91st day you see a huge attitude change. Now they won't work, they won't turn up on time, they can't get motivated, they give bad service, etc., etc. So unless you want to lose all the hairs like I have, maybe reconsider that one. So anyway, before you become another dreamer who lose a lot of money in business, maybe just weigh up the pros and cons of, is this really the marketplace to work? Because we have, in my opinion, 8 months down here of what's called harsh financial low season, where everybody has short arms and deep pockets. So back to the next guest, and thanks for listening to that. Here we go. I'm with a gentleman from originally France, is it, Phil? Who has lived down here for how long?
6 years.
And how do you fund your living down here? How do you afford to keep staying in paradise?
Well, first of all, I believe that it's very complicated to earn your own money here if you open a business here. So for me, the solution is to get money from abroad or working abroad, which is I do, you know. I trade stocks and I've always done that, and that gives me an income, and that's how I afford to live here.
So you say it's pretty difficult?
For me, it's quite impossible to just start a business here and really make a living, because there is a lot of uncertainty. That means that if you have a business now, maybe it's gonna collapse in 1 year or 2 years, and then what do? You're like stuck, you know, and have many examples of people like that. So it's very important to have a basis of income coming from abroad or working online, or you know, something like that. And
so what is it that collapses people's businesses?
Well, I've known many, you know, they start a business and then their business doesn't go right and they lose everything, or they can't afford anymore to live here, and then maybe because they put a lot of money in it, they're not able to go back to their own country where life is much more expensive than here. At the same time, I think that here life is not at all expensive when you've spent enough time here to know where to buy things. Like when you come here at the beginning, you go and buy things in shops, and sometimes it can be very expensive. But when you have the experience where to go and buy things, it can be very cheap. You must think ahead, you know, of what you're doing. If you go to an island like this, you have to be sure that you always have money coming monthly from abroad or from online, so that you can always go back to your country in case.
So Frankie, would you say it's a healthy season down here for working, or what's it like, low season, high season?
There is only 7 months here, it's quiet, really quiet, it gets quiet. And when it gets busy time, it's not that busy, you know. So you have to study, you have to come here, live here for a year, and to open your eyes, you know, or unless you can't do it, you know, that's it. And you decide what you want to do.
Would you say it's better just to establish an income before you come down?
Yeah, exactly, you have to do that. You have to have money to come here.
And how did you make it possible for you?
I made I worked when I was 16 years old, okay, and I made it to 45, and I've sold all my businesses. That's why I'm here, you know. And I've invested somewhere, which I've.
Okay. So you got some investment income coming in to make it possible for you.
Yeah.
And Do you spend most of your time just focusing on relaxing down here, or
Just relaxing, you know what I mean? I work too hard, I feel I burn myself out.
okay? Well,
So I'm just relaxing, you know, that's it.
you enjoy your relaxing, and thanks for your comments.
Thank you.
I'm here with a long-term expat called John. Thanks for being on video. John, what do you do in terms of supporting yourself? Do you have a pension? Do you have a big company overseas, or what do you do?
I have Social Security, and I have investment property in Florida.
John, I also know you're quite entrepreneurial, so you've kicked off some ventures down here. Is that just to support the income, or is it just to keep yourself busy, if I may ask?
I don't have to support my income, but I'm helping to get my girlfriend to learn to run her business. She's a lawyer, and she's an insurance agent.
So from what I'm hearing, you're suggesting people should make sure that income, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, should come from overseas.
Yeah, you should have enough to live on. Your business should be for extra spending money or extra things. You should make sure that your living expenses are covered when you move down here.
And is there any jobs going down here for those who want to seek a job?
Well, there's restaurants and there's bars.
But do they pay enough for a foreigner to afford to live a lifestyle they may be accustomed to, or something close to that?
No.
Okay. So in other words, it's better to come with an income stream from overseas.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or have enough money to kick off a successful business.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, John. Appreciate your comments.
Always good to see you. Thanks.
Cheers. I've got Samara with me here again, who I've interviewed before.
Hi.
Thanks for being on video.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Samara, how do you fund your living down here, and what advice would you give to others?
How do I fund it? Well, from the last video, I am a scuba dive instructor. I've been working like that for the last 5 years I've been here. At the moment though, since I'm living in Sosua, it is slow season. A lot of people have left and there's not as much clientele. And that is because it's obvious in Canada, America, it's summer. Nobody wants to come to the Caribbean in the middle of summer. So
Okay.
I'm living off savings right now, credit card. But however, you can still fund your financial situation. It doesn't have to be in Sosua directly. It can be anywhere on the island, such as was it last year? Or the year before? When I was living in the Bahia, which is close to La Romana, I was selling cookies to the dive centers, and I was making a huge profit. And even now, I bake sandwiches to sell just to, extra cash on the side. But you do what you do, and it's taking a risk of living and being a traveler, and that's basically all it is.
Would you say it's very risky for others to do that?
But if you're young and you love to travel, by all means, go for it.
Okay. Well, all the very best down here, and thanks for your comments.
You're welcome. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you how I fund mine in a minute, but I'll tell you about the one guy I know down here. He has $14.75 Social Security, and that's what he lives off. And he lives on his budget. As long as you can live on your budget or under your budget, you're doing good. I always say at least have $2,000. But for myself, I have a good retirement. It's not big balloon, but it's enough to keep me comfortable, keep all my bills paid. Also, my property is already paid for, so I'm not paying anything as far as rent or mortgage or anything like that. So And then I have some other streams of income. I have an investment group. I have some rental property in the States that I rent out. So all those little streams of passive income helps that bottom line and give me a comfortable lifestyle. But like I tell people, if you could get, at least $2,000 a month, you can live quite comfortable here. But if you're going to live here, and I would say, if you're going to create some sort of income, do it through online. Unless you come down here, people open up brick and mortars. Me personally, I just don't believe that, because the government, man, they just, you can piss the wrong person off and they'll shut you down. But if you got passive, but if you work online and you got, let's say, do drop shipping or web design or a number of online businesses, then you don't have to worry about nobody shutting your business down, and you can work anywhere in the world. IT work. So there's a lot of things you can do online to fund your lifestyle.
Thank you very much for your comments.
No problem.
Take care. All the best. Cheers. All right, folks, thanks for watching to this point. I'm going to just speed things up a little bit now. A few last comments from some of the people down here, and then I want to show you something that you may not know about Dominican Republic.
I'm working online, a little bit like trading in cryptocurrencies.
Okay, so when you get paid, it's not in pesos, it's in what, euros?
It's in
or
cryptocurrencies.
In cryptocurrencies, okay.
Like Bitcoin.
Yeah, and you can convert that into pesos if you want. Yeah.
You can't just come down, I'm going to live here, I'm going to open up a bar. This is the biggest mistake that most foreigners do when they come here. Another piece of advice I'd like to give you is learn the language. Learn the manners of the people. People don't tend to do that, and they want to do things like they do it in their own country. If you're going to come here, learn the mannerisms, learn the culture, learn the language, and then think of how you're going to produce money. If you don't have a pension and you plan on coming down here to work, make sure that your plan is very well thought out. Just don't come down here and think you're going to shoot from the hips.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Good advice.
You're welcome.
Take care. All the best.
All the best.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching to this point, and we're nearly done. Now, just a few little pointers. If you're ever moving down here, I run a relocation advisory service, which means I can help save you potentially thousands of dollars and a lot of hassles by knowing who to deal with and where to tread in this unfamiliar territory. Now, the other thing is, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. Tick like, recommend to other people, of course. And then I just wanted to mention that a lot of my viewers are writing to me saying, oh, we love those little fill-in clips that you put into your videos in between the interviews. And some even write they like my music. So I thought, why not combine the two to get the final message across here, which is about a problem that exists here in Dominican Republic, but also internationally, about the droughts, the dry weather that we have, the chemical sky that we see, and also the water shortage down here. So take a look at this, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Lethal poison, yes they spray, to steal the weather, so they say. I used to love to see the bright blue sky, now they spray it makes me wonder why. Those chemtrails, are they here to stay or what? I sure hope not. Or will their poison kill us? A tanker spraying across our skies. Stops global warming, that's all lies. What do these evil bastards gain from this? They forgotten life can be a bliss. No chemtrails spread more gas on our heads. We'll soon be dead if we don't stop the chemtrails. I thought I'd hide down in the sun. Now all the spraying has begun. So the giant cities get their dose. It was in millions when they spray and rose. It's to kill us. It's an evil plan, you know. It's sad but true. If we don't stop the chemtrails, when governments they sell our souls, abuse our taxes to control, and blind us once again with all their lies, to spread their burial across the skies. No mercy, we must send them back to hell. We might as well. The only way to stop the chemtrails. Lethal poison, yes they spray. To steal it with us so they